Hey, Shalom Markings for Kamak Partial GMS London, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Chakwadash. I want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the hopeful elect, pushing his truth and all sincerity. Back again, one other video, and this lesson is inspired for something I was thinking about when I got to work last night. I was like, damn man, back at work, doing work for Esau, when in reality, we're we're meant to be rulers over the earth, but here it is, we have to go every day and work for Esau to build up his kingdom, and we're just tired, man. Tired of the same shit over and over again, putting in work, some other, so some demon, the Edomite demon can get rich off, while you're sitting there slaving away, giving hours away to Esau. And it's like, man, this ain't how things are supposed to be, right? We know the Most High, blessed his, the children of Israel above all nations, right? Pursuant to Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6. We know that is our rightful place in the world, right? We know through our own transgressions that the Most High have taken us out of that position and put us, underneath the hands of our enemy, just like he said he would. You read through the curses, right? So we understand that, this is all part of the punishment, part of the atonement, okay, that we have to suffer these things. But man, it sucks. It sucks, man. And just now and again, you think these things. You don't want to be at work. You don't want to go to work for Esau and that, but daily bread in it. The Most High set you up with the job, and so you work your job in it. But I got to work yesterday. I just it just dawned on me again. It's like, fucking hell, man. Okay, why am I here? Shit. But the good thing is that Esau's being about to be taken out of power. Okay, Yahweh Shai is about to return and establish his kingdom. Okay, which we are heirs of. All right, we're gonna rule with him. Right, so we're gonna be at the top as the Most High intended us to be, and people who work for us. Hold on 1 second. I'm getting a call. It's lucky, as I was saying. Esau's about to be removed, and we're about to be established in the kingdom of heaven, right? An everlasting kingdom where we're gonna be on top. Okay, we ain't gonna have to worry about working for the enemy anymore and working under his bullshit. As I say, we're kings and princes upon the earth, and yet we're walking the ground as servants. Okay, which is why I wanted to open up with the scripture, man, because that's what I was thinking about when I was at work yesterday. And so yes, let's just open up, right? So this is Ecclesiastes chapter 10. Verse 7 says, I've seen servants upon horses, right? This represents Esau primarily, right now in this time, right? But really, all these nations are our servants. That's how it's meant to be. How the Most High, has ultimately set things up to be, right? And, people don't like the idea of that. They don't like it. But that's what the Most High made you other nations to be the children of Israel's servants, all right? And that's what's going to happen when Yahweh Shai returns. Okay, he's going to put you nations into slavery, okay, and punishment for 1,000 years. Okay, but all nations, live to serve the nation of Israel, ultimately. All right? But yeah, the servants right now, they're upon horses. They're sitting up high. Okay, our enemies sit above us. And Esau sitting at the highest, right? Ruling over the earth right now, right? So I've seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth. Okay, that represents us. Okay, we're walking on the ground, man. We're meant to be elevated. We're meant to be, not on the ground. Being carried around, right? Right? We're not meant to be on the ground, laboring and all this sort of business, right? Working for, our enemies. Right? That is not the right order of things, but this is because of our transgressions that things are like this. Which the Most High is gonna change soon. All right, but right now we're servants, we're princes, kings and princes, walking on the ground. Okay, while our enemies are, lord above us. Okay, that's not righteous order. All right, but that's the state of affairs right now. Okay, this is Baruch chapter 4. Let's see. I'm gonna read from verse 24 here, right? It says, "Light as now the neighbors of Zion, okay, the other nations, okay, who are our enemies, right, have seen your captivity. They watched the whole world watched us go into captivity, man. Right? The transatlantic slave trade is a global thing that everyone knows about, and nations just sat there and watched and even helped, all right, but did nothing to deliver us, as you know, prophecy said they wouldn't do. No man would buy us. No man would save us. No nation, none of these people, none of them cared. All right. Um, it says, they have seen your captivity, so shall they see shortly your salvation. All eyes are going to see the salvation of the Israelites. Okay, pursuing to Songs of Solomon, 5:1, wisdom, one of the two, right? 5:1, right? Tells you how the people, the nations are going to look upon us as we're getting beamed up into the chariots, man, bewildered. All right, the whole world is going to see it because we're scattered among all the earth, right? So everybody everywhere is going to see it happen. All right. It says, so shall they see shortly your salvation from the Most High, which shall come upon with great glory. Okay, the chariots, right, and brightness of the everlasting. My children, and this is how it is for us right now. It says, my children, suffer patiently. We have to suffer patiently our condition, our situations. The fact that we gotta go, get up out of bed and fucking sometimes at the crack of dawn. And I know some brothers doing the fucking, real early ones. Me, I usually do them super late ones, but you know, I know brothers get up at the crack of dawn just to go and work for Esau just so they can earn some wages, to get bread. But that's not our position in life. That's not what our position is supposed to be. But it is what it is right now because of our transgression. Right? So again, my children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from the Most High. Yes, the Most High's wrath. Right? But thine enemy have persecuted thee. Our enemies have persecuted us. Right? But shortly thou shalt see his destruction. And this is what we can't wait for, man. You know, we want to see the downfall of our enemies, man. We want to get our hands on our enemies. We want to put them down, right? Make a man know what the levels are, man. Right? When the Most High exalts us, right, it's going to be a very clear and apparent thing, right? We're not just, mere men that have conquered another nation or something like anything like that, like these other nations have done in the past. The Most High is going to make us into gods, man. Beings with actual power, not pseudo power. Where men are still mortal and die and stuff. You know what I mean? But because they got a gun in their hand, they think they're strong. No, that's pseudo power. That's not real power. All right, the Most High is going to change us into gods, right? And so the gulf between us and mortals is going to be unassailable. All right, and so nations are going to understand and recognize that this is, the work of the Most High. This is the righteous order, right? For thy enemies have persecuted thee, but thee shall shortly see the destruction and shall tread upon his neck. My delicate ones have gone rough ways and were taken away as a flock caught of their enemies. Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto the Most High, for ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you. And this is how the Most High, given us back his name, the name of the Son, and as commanding us to call upon him and his Son, through his Son. Yahweh Yahweh Shai. Right? The Most High gave us that back, as he said he would do, right? For as it was your mind to go astray from the Most High, so being returned, seeking 10 times more. For he that have brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy with your salvation. Everlasting joy, Like, we're never going to be in this predicament ever again. There's not a day we're going to wake up and be like, shit. Lamenting. Like, the day's never going to happen again. We feel like that constantly. You wake up and you're like, fuck, another day here. Some more bullshit, you have to deal with today. Don't get me wrong, praise the Most High. We're hearing this truth. We're here doing the work. Every day. Most High keeps us in this thing, but we really just want to out of this predicament that we're in. It can't come quick enough, man. But everything's in the hand of the Lord. Okay, so like I said, we have to suffer patiently. All right. says, take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. Who gave us that name? The Most High only, right? Our forefather's name was changed from Jacob to Israel, okay, which means he is a prince of the power, right? And that surname we all have, right? We are all princes of the power, right? All those that descend from Jacob, all right? It says, verse 31, miserable are they that afflicted thee and rejoiced at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children served, right? Because we're servants in all the lands that we are. We're servants, man. And we're not meant to be servants. You might have taken the fucking piss. These nations are taking the piss to think that you could put God's children and make them servants underneath you, man. You're taking the fucking piss, man. And that's what I was thinking about, man. You nation actually taking the piss because you know who we are. And you think it's appropriate to do what you've done. Like, I know Esau right now in this time is the main felon in this, right? But the fact you nations just sit by and just allow it to happen and you, in fact, just join in on it, man, you man are taking the fucking piss. You thought it was a good idea, but you're about to find out it's the worst idea you could have made. Right? And I can't wait for the Lord's vengeance to come upon these nations, man. World War III's coming, man. Man, I know you people are gonna get fucked up. You know? So miserable are the cities which thy children served, and miserable is he that received thy sons. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. Okay, this is about America. America is that main place of judgment. Okay, Babylon the Great. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. Yeah? For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. Okay, that's again land of America, man. It's going to become a lake of fire and a desert. All right, and to be inhabited no more. All right. O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from the Most High. Lo, thy sons come from whom thou sentest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of God. All right, and knowing that that's us, members of the elect, that are being brought back to the Most High from all quarters of the earth. Praising His name, praising His Son's name. All right. But yeah, right now we have to suffer patiently these things, man. It is what it is. Right, but this is Deuteronomy chapter 28. Let's get a couple points out here, right? This is part of the curses, right? It says, the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, right? They sit on the high horse, they sit above us, man. All these nations sit above us, right? And thou shalt come down very low, right? We're very low in the earth, right? But that's not how things are supposed to be. That's not the natural order of things. But again, because of our transgressions, the Most High put us, He put us down, right? 48. It says, therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in the want of all things. We rely upon all other nations, man, to survive, which is bullshit. We rely on Esau and his system to survive. It's bullshit. And it's set against us, man. So it's bullshit. It's not fair. It's not a fair system that he operates. Esau's always working against us, man. So it's bullshit. And in the want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy necks, which he did. Right? Esau, these so-called white people, had us in hardcore slavery, man. Right? So he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee, man. Our people all fucked up, man. There's a whole bunch of fucking gremlins walking around of our people, man, that need to be destroyed too. They man are heavy resisting anything to do with the Israelites because their brains gone. Esau, the devil has overthrown them. Verse 68, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, no man shall buy you, right? So we're still bondmen and bondwomen. Yeah, we've not got the yokes of iron, around our necks and, chains on our hands and feet anymore, but we're still bond. We're still bound to to Esau, to work for him, to build his system. Because what do we build of our own? We can't build shit. We don't have our own land. There's nothing we can't build nothing. Esau is always, against us in anything that we do, right? Unless he's controlling it. Unless you become a puppet of his, you know, you fucking dick up your ass, man. Yeah. Then he'll put you in certain positions, but you ain't doing nothing. You're just a fucking another pawn, another slave, another servant. Right. So that's what it's been. That's what it is for us, and we have to suffer it, man. For now. It's Baruch chapter 3, verse 8. So behold, we are yet this day in our captivity. Right? Again, so it hasn't changed. Yeah, the chains are off, but we're still slaves to the system, man. We're still serving Esau, building his shit. It says, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments. What the fuck are we paying taxes for? Why are all these fucking taxes and all these all these things you're paying Esau for, bro? Like, he had like hundreds of years of free fucking labor from us, man, and we still got to fucking pay. Fuck off, man. They say you man are taking the piss, man. You really are, man. All right, but we're subject to payments, man. We're just being kept down, handicapped all the damn fucking time. Can't do shit. Can't fucking fart without getting some type of fine. You know what I mean? It's fucking ridiculous, right? It says subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers. Again, it's part of the punishments, right? That our enemies, are over us and treating us this way. So which depart from the Lord our power. All right. This is Haggai chapter 1, verse 6. It says, ye have so much and bring in little. And Jake work hard, man. I mean, obviously, there's Jake that just squats, man, don't do shit. Just lazy ass, drug dealing waste, man. But there's a lot of Jake that we all know, family and that work hard, man, work themselves into the fucking ground, man. For what? You think, because we're made to believe that motto, work hard and you get rich or some shit, right? But we've seen the family members work their fucking selves into the ground, literally, right? For what? Nothing's changed. Their hard work didn't really achieve anything. Like, some of you, Jake, got a house, and then the house. Well, I speak from my experience, man. My grandma, when she moved over here from the Caribbean, I was working for the NHS, and she just worked fucking mad hours all the damn fucking time, man. Eventually, all that stuff caught up to her, man, and she passed, man. But she bought a house. She paid for a house. Fairly big house. She had a few children and that sort of 4-bedroom house and whatever. But when she passed, now what happened to the house? Had to be split. Had to be divided. Who owns the house now? Fuck knows. Some Asians around the area. You know what I mean? So like, what did it achieve? Yeah, we got a bit of money. The sons and nephews and whatever. Sons and nephews, sons and grandchildren. Got a bit of money out of it or whatever. But money don't last nowhere. You know what I mean? It's not that much. We spread around the family and shit, and so it ends up being nothing. It ends up being nothing, man. So you work hard and to get nothing still, pretty much. And this money ain't worth shit. Anyway, that's the ramblings of this quite employee. Yeah, it says you have so much and bring in little. You eat, but you have not enough. You drink, but you're not filled with drink. You clothe you, but there is none warm. He that earneth wages, right? So we all have to go to fucking work for the devil, right? We earn the wages to put it into a bag with holes, man. Money just seeps out because Esau's charging us for fucking everything. get caught speeding, you know, a few miles out, you know, over the thing. Nothing, you know. It's what I mean. You get charged for things because for potentials. Like it's like, oh, something could have happened. You know, you get caught by a camera. Not driving dangerously per se, which is, you know, you went quicker through the camera than you're supposed to. Fucking stupid 20-mile-an-hour zones and shit. Stupid ass fucking zones. Right? And you get caught. And you got to pay some mad ass fine. Hit too many of those, and now you got points in your license. Now your insurance is gone. It just it never ends. ESO is always charging you for some shit. Always charging you for shit, and that's outside just regular, you know, VATs and, you know, just the taxes on purchasing things and you know, it just don't end, man. It don't fucking end. So you're earning money, but you're just giving more back to ESO. The fucking tax brackets is crazy, you know. But all you're trying to do is survive and eat. But ESO just makes it extremely difficult. Unless you're just uber rich, you ain't gonna worry about that type of shit because it don't really affect you. You're earning so much money that fines and stuff and, you know, setbacks. You know, you're fucking do something to your car or something like that. They're less than minor setbacks for uber rich people. Well, for the average worker, it's like, bro, that's a big deal. And you're getting set back months, right? You're going without shit, you know, because you gotta fix something or, you know, whatever, man, you know. But yeah, you put your wages in a bag of holes, man. It just you ain't got much afterwards, man. Realistically, it's Isaiah 65. Right, and this is how things are gonna change, man. Because we do need it to change severely, man. Jay thinks they can still make it in this world, man, and do some fucking business scheme or some shit, and they think they're gonna make it in Esau's kingdom and live a good life, man. That's all gonna fucking fail, man. All of it. Okay, you might have something now, but it ain't gonna last very long. And this is the problem with this place. It's all temporal here. What you're investing in, man, is pointless. But Jay don't think so. Jay thinks this place is gonna go on forever, man. But fucking America's about to get nuked, and this whole system is gonna get nuked with it, man. The world, as you know it today, man, is gonna cease to exist. All the property and, you know, all these businesses, they're gonna disappear. So I hope you enjoy it while it lasts, man. But it ain't gonna be fucking worth it in the end. That's why we're focusing on the kingdom of heaven, you know. But this is what it's gonna be like, right? So the Lord's gonna turn this around for us, right? Let's see, where I want to start from. I'm gonna start from 17 here, right? It says, for behold, I create a new heavens and a new earth. Right? Like I said, this system, this world is gonna cease to exist, right? And the former shall not be remembered, right? Nor come into mind. But ye be glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing and a people a joy. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem and joy in my people, right? And the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of a crying. Hey, Jake, right now we're just frustrated. We're fucking, we're distressed in this place, man, because life is difficult, right? And just continues to be difficult, you know, unnecessarily so. So, you know, we ain't gonna be crying no more, right? There should be no more thence an infant of days, nor an old man that have not filled his days. For the child shall die 100 years old, but the sinner being 100 years old shall be accursed. Right, we're gonna live long lives, man. Long ass lives. In fact, our lives are not gonna end. All right, so we're not gonna worry about death. We ain't gonna worry about the young dying because, you know, the youth die too much, man. Right? Esau got them fighting one another and, you know, going crazy, watching rap videos and shit. You know, Jake's going crazy, man. You know, we haven't got to worry about disease, things like this. We haven't got to worry about, you know, premature births, you know, disease, you know, children dying from that or you know, things of that nature. We haven't got to worry about them types of things anymore. Sorrow's not going to touch our families, man. You know? And they should build houses and inhabit in them. Right now, that's not the case. We build houses for other people. You know, if you've got that type of job, you work in construction or something, we'll build things for other people. Just like we have always done in slavery and captivity under other nations, building pyramids, building towers, doing all of this, man. right? But other people inhabit our work, right? So they shall build houses and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and shall eat the fruit of them, right? They shall not build and another inhabit, right? We're not building for others, man. In fact, you're going to build for us. In the kingdom, you're going to build for us, man. You know? They shall not plant and another eat, right? It's as, right? For as the days of a tree are, the days of, as the days of a tree are, the days of my people and mine elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands. Right now we don't get to do that. All our work just goes back into the system. You don't get to enjoy it. Yeah, we get paid at it, but like I said, the pay money don't mean shit. It disappears. Super fast. That's why we live month to month, like paycheck to paycheck. We don't. eh, It's not really stability. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're gonna get paid a certain month, and yeah, you can manage your bills and manage your food for the time being. But that's gonna get harder as this world collapses. But like, it's not really stability. Like if something bad happens, there really is no fucking stability. It's like critical. You're dealing with something critical at that point. You're like, shit. What the hell do I do now? Okay, we're not meant to be in that position of fragility where something like that could just fuck us up. Right, but like I said, in the kingdom, that's not gonna happen. You know, them 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 bad things are not gonna happen to us, and we're just gonna be continuously stable. We're gonna be enjoying the work of our hands, man. Just pure profit, pure enjoyment out of what we do, what projects we do, or whatever we're building, or whatever you're building for us. Right, we're gonna enjoy that. All right. They shall not labor in vain, nor bring forth for trouble, for they are the seed of the blessed. Israel, the children of Israel are the seed of the blessed. Don't let no one tell you otherwise, man. All right, that is the facts. The Most High chose the children of Israel, and they are the seed of the blessed, the elect. Beginning with the elect, they are the seed of the blessed, and this is how the whole nation of Israel is going to be righteous through the seed of the elect, who are going to be delivered and saved in these last days. Right? They are the seed of the blessed, right? Of the Lord Yahweh, and their offspring with them. Right? So this is why the majority of people are going to be destroyed, but that's cool. It's fine. It's okay. Right? The Most High is going to bring back the nation through the Lord's elect, through the righteous, through the perfect, and their children are going to be perfect, just as their fathers are. As Lord, we will be those fathers that walk into the kingdom. Right? But we are the children of the blessed. Okay, not the other nations, but the nation that the Most High chose from the foundation of the earth. Might I add? Right? And it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer, and while they are yet speaking, I will hear. Right? Automatic blessings, man. Lord is going. Lord's already in our minds, man. So Lord, He knows. He already knows what we want, what we desire, what we need. He knows all these things already. Right? So in the kingdom, bro, it's like it's not even a telephone call. You know what I mean? The Most High already knows, man. Before you even send a prayer, and Lord will bless you with that, man. And we'll just continuously be praising Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, man, for blessing us, man, like constantly. You know, the wolf and the lamb shall feed together, and the lion shall eat straw like the bullock, and the dust shall be the serpent's meat. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, says the Lord Yahweh. All right, so we're gonna dwell in safety, man, and everything in our realm is gonna be blessed. Right, we ain't gonna worry about nothing bad going on in our domain in Israel. It's Isaiah 14:2. I should point here, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants. We're going to possess the heathen, the nations, for servants. Right, just as it was promised to us, promised to Yahweh Shai. The Most High said He will give the heathens for an inheritance. That's exactly what we're going to receive, man. Right, they're going to be given into our hands, right, to exact justice and vengeance upon them. Upon them. Servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Okay, we're gonna rule, right? And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. Okay? So that's what the Lord is going to do for us. He's going to give us rest, okay, and give us justice. This is Isaiah 60 verse 14. So the sons also of them that afflicted thee, i.e. the other nations, right? These afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet. Yeah, right? Like I said, we are not servants that walk the earth. Okay, we are the kings and princes and priests of the Heavenly Father, man. Okay, we're meant to be up on the horse. That is the righteous order of things, right? And so when the Most High does eventually do this, right, you nations are going to come to bow before us, man. And you're going to acknowledge your transgressions against us and against the Heavenly Father. All right? They shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of the Lord Yahweh, the Zion, the monument of the Holy One of Israel. Whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee, I will make thee an eternal excellency, a joy of many generations. Thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles, and shalt suck the breast of kings, and thou shalt know that I, the Lord Yahweh, am thy Savior and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob. Okay, the Lord's chosen seed. The Jacobites, man. Jacob, the Israelites. Right? And so you nations, you heathen, are going to become nourishment for us. Your labor, okay, your crops, your women, your daughters, right? You're going to nourish us, man. You're gonna play your part in sustaining the children of Israel, making them great. You know, don't get misunderstood. We are great without you, but a great kingdom and rulers, have servants and subjects, right? And you're going to be paying your tribute to us, right? That's how it's set up. That's how it's going to be set up. All right. So for brass I will bring gold, and for iron I will bring silver, and for wood brass, and for stones iron. I will also make thy officers peace, and thine exactors righteousness. Violence shall no more be heard in thy land, wasting nor destruction within thy borders, but thou shalt call thy walls salvation and thy gates praise. Right? So like I was mentioning before, ain't nothing going to be bad going to be going on in the land of Israel, man. No evil, right? The sun shall be no more thy light by day, neither for brightness shall the moon give the light unto thee. But the Lord shall be unto thee an everlasting light, and the good and thy God thy glory. Right, which means we're always going to be dwelling in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Right, knowledge is never going to depart us. Righteousness is never going to depart us. Right, which means we're always going to be in that seat of power, because the Lord will have no occasion against us to take us out of power, because we be keeping His laws, statutes, and commandments perfectly. All right, so we're always going to be dwelling with that knowledge and wisdom, right? The sun shall no more go down, neither shall thy moon withdraw itself. Again, talking about the knowledge and wisdom, understanding. The Lord shall be thine everlasting light, and the days of thy mourning shall be ended. The days of mourning shall be ended. So I ain't got to turn out to work. Well, I ain't got to turn out to work, right? But I ain't gonna be going to work and feeling, again here another day again. That's gonna be no more. I ain't gonna have to sigh. Okay, we ain't gonna be doing nothing but smiling and celebrating, man, praising the Lord, right? For how blessed we are, what we're gonna be. All right. So thy people also shall be all righteous. Like I said, we're gonna be all perfect, even our children, right? They shall inherit the land forever, right? The branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. Because we're the Lord's chosen people. So it only looks good on the Lord if we're exalted as well. This whole thing of us being in captivity doesn't, it's not good. It's not good for nobody, right? But the Lord has had to punish us, man, because we was staying in the Lord's name, being His people, and we was acting reckless, man, acting all kind of wicked. So we brought a stain upon the Most High's name, right? But us being in captivity also doesn't look good either, right? That's why the Lord had to set up a savior, man, to make things right, so to speak, to set things in order. right? So the Most High will be glorified. But again, this is all part of the process, because the Lord, the things that the Lord's going to do in these last days, in destroying these nations and raising up his elect, okay, he's going to glorify the Lord, right? So these situations were created for that very purpose, to praise His Son, to glorify His Son in all of this, right? That's all has a purpose. So ultimately, what the Lord wants is to have His children on top. Okay, then it is truly glorious. Everything the Most High built and made is glorious, man. Right? So that includes us. Thy people also shall be all righteous. They shall inherit the land forever. The branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the Lord, will hasten it in His time. All right, and we can't wait, man. Just a couple more, man. We'll close out. This is Acts chapter 1, verse 6. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? All right, so this is the thing what we're expecting to happen. We're not expecting something different, like you wacky tacky Christians are trying to sell us, right? The Lord's gonna come and deliver everybody from everywhere, anyone that believes, and give them the kingdom, or they go to heaven, or I don't know. The Christians are confusing, but they're confused, right? But the disciples, this is what they were expecting, and why should it be any different now? Don't make no damn sense otherwise, right? But no, the Lord's intention is to establish the kingdom of Israel to the children of Israel, His chosen seed, right? That should be very plain and straightforward to understand, right? The confusion, what these Christians bring into is this whole Gentile business, okay? Which, when you don't have no understanding, you think Gentiles is talking about any and every other nation, when it's not really talking about that. Okay, the Gentiles being spoken about are Israelite foreigners, okay, Israelites that were scattered abroad into all these different parts of the earth, losing their identities and all this kind of business, right? Coming back into the fold. These are the Gentiles that the Lord is bringing back, right, into the fold. All right. So, but yeah, so as I said, the disciples understood that it was about restoring the kingdom to Israel again. And so just to end that with this, Second Ezra chapter 6, start from 54, right? And after these, Adam also, who now made us Lord over all thy creatures, of him come we all, right? All men come from Adam, right? I think pretty much everybody would agree with that, right? But it says also, of him come we all, and the people also who now is chosen, right? So like we've established, the Most High chose the people out of all people, who are the children of Israel, okay, the sons of Jacob, right? All this have I spoken before thee. Israel's been going back and forth between, asking the Most High question, asking the angel questions, back and forth, right? Why is these things happening to Israel? Why are the heathen ruling over us? And these men are wicked too. How comes they're enjoying things and we're getting, we're underneath, catching hell, right? He's going back and forth, right? So he says, all this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sake. So we're suffering all these things, but you told us that you made the world for our sake. So why does it not feel like it? Because our enemies are enjoying the earth. Even now, like we witness it. Everyone else is enjoying the earth. Esau is living luxuriously at the top. Like crazy luxury, like unnecessary luxury, these elites are living. They could spread out that wealth, but they don't want to. Everyone's suffering. Everyone else is suffering. So why is it, if the world is made for our sakes, how comes it's everybody else that's enjoying it right now? Again, it goes back to our transgression. And it goes back to the plan of the Heavenly Father, what He has planned for us, and our ascendancy, the ascendancy He has planned for us. Okay, which involves His Son and all these different, these different elements, right? So it's just, again, we have to wait and suffer patiently, right? All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes, right? This world is really for us, right? So as for the other people, the other nations who the Lord didn't choose, right, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing. The Most High don't care about the other nations. They're not important to Him. Yeah, you're alive, just like the animals are alive, but your lives, animals' lives, for instance, is not that big a deal to the Most High. It just isn't. He's not concerned about the other nations. He's concerned about Israel, the one He chose. Right? Other living things, the Lord is indifferent. about it. Right? If the Lord sends a flood and destroys a whole bunch of land and trees and whatever in the process, Lord, like, it's nothing to the Lord, isn't it? Basically. All right. But the children of Israel, bro, the Most High gets angry about it. He's a jealous power. Scripture tells you, right? It bothers him. Okay, he wants us to be the good sons that we're supposed to be. You know what I mean? He wants us to live up to our potential that we're supposed to live up to. You know, because he chose us for that very reason. All right. So obviously he's invested in us, right? In a contract that he's not you know, gonna break. Right. So he has to see it through. So the Lord's invested in us. He isn't invested in other nations, man. You can do whatever, man. You know, if the Lord has to come and destroy you, he'll do that. It's not a big deal. You know, he's not making promises that, I really want you to get right, so I'm going to tell you this and that. The Lord never gave you the law, statutes, commandments to do right, to get right. He never made no promises with you. So, again, you can do what the hell, whatever, man, and the Lord will do you either way. But the children of Israel now are special unto the Most High. Okay, we were made and created for a purpose, and that purpose is going to be fulfilled, man. All right? So as for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and hast likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. And now, O Lord, behold these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing. Right? So it's always been the case. It's always been known that the nations, they're not important to the Lord like that. All right? So much so that you other nations really just here to serve the children of Israel. That's the function, the function that you were made for, ultimately, right? Says, ever been reputed as nothing, have begun to be lords over us and to devour us. Our enemies have the upper hand over us. Okay, but these are not the chosen people of the Lord. So why is it? How is it? How is it they're receiving all the things that we were promised? Almost, right? Because don't get it twisted. Esau, these elites of Esau, as much as they're crazy wealthy and can do anything, can get anything on the planet, pretty much. Right? What they're actually receiving from the earth at this moment in time is nothing compared to what we're going to be receiving in the kingdom. Okay, when the earth is refreshed, this planet's dying. It's being wickedness is destroying this place, right? And so you can only get out of it what it can offer. And the earth is not in a pristine state right now. It's not optimal, right? So everything's of like a lower quality, so to speak, right? So in the kingdom, the quality's gonna go back to the highest, which everybody's gonna benefit from. But obviously, being at the top, being Israelites being at the top, we're gonna obviously get the best of everything. And so we're gonna be in a much better standard of living than even these elites that exist today. Verse 58 said, "But we, thy people, who now is called thy firstborn and thy only begotten and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands." Right? That's the current situation, even now. Right? If the world would now be made for our sakes, right? Because that's what you said, right? Why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? Well, the answer is that we're going to, but it's not for this time. Right? The Most High has all these things planned out, right? And for now and then, it wasn't time for that. We're serving punishment. We're having to learn something on this journey that we've been on, for centuries, millennia, whatever, right? We're learning lessons, man, and being given understanding. Right. So when we come into the kingdom, we're going to become perfect beings, like was kind of described at the beginning in Genesis when Adam was, kicked out the garden, right? Because we knew too much, and we knew good and evil, right? And we would have become, well, Adam would have become like a god, like an angel, basically. Having a full spectrum of knowledge and being immortal, right? And so, that wasn't time for that. So, these things we're gonna realize, when Yahushua comes and we're changed, right? And it's a hard lesson learned, but we would fully understand it, right? And this is what's gonna make us perfect beings, right? Understanding good and evil, okay, being immortal, being given power, right? Being given a perfect spirit, right? We're gonna be perfect, right? So if the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure, right? And this is that is always on our mind, especially when you're going through it, man. It's like, how long, man? How much longer is this gonna go on for? How long are our enemies gonna do this to us and prosper over us? How long do we have to, work for Esau and pop his shit up? You know, because it is frustrating. But again, going back to Brute, it's just something we have to suffer patiently because we know Esau's time is running out. Okay, and we're gonna get the the last laugh on him. Okay, when we put him into slavery, when we're established, okay, under Yahweh Shai and his kingdom, when that all takes place, all of this that we've been through will be like it never happened. Okay, big sigh, big sigh of relief when the day comes. But once we're put into power and in position and whatever, this will be like a brief moment in time for us. What we've gone through or whatever, what we suffered. And I might end it with that actually. There they go. Oh, it was on my mind just now. Damn it. Can't think. Oh, glory. Oh, the words are going through my head, man, but they're not sticking, man. Shit. No, it's not. Let me get that. Oh, I'm just gonna paraphrase, man. My brain's not working right now. I can't think of how the verse goes. But basically, Scripture speaks about the things that we go through is not nothing in comparison to what we're gonna receive. Brothers know the preset, man. But yeah, these things that we're going through ain't nothing to what we're gonna receive in the kingdom, man. So it's all gonna be worth it in the end, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna end it with that. I've done my rant for today, you know. But I know brothers feel like that. We all do, time to time. Cause we just want to get the hell out of here, man. We can't wait to be up out of Esau's influence and his system, his bullshit. You know. So I'm gonna end it there anyway. All this has been edifying, and I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video. Until next time, I say shalom.